All right, greetings. Once again, this is Professor Griff right here on Arm the Masses, right here on Black Power Media Reloaded, brought to you by Serious Minds RN TV. All right, greetings, everyone. Hold on. Yeah, as we proceed. All right, today's subject, we're going to be talking about the DOJ. If you don't know what DOJ stands for, it's Department of Justice. All right. My Native American brothers and sisters call it something else. And of course, my radical brothers from Haiti call it something else. My Caribbean brothers call it something different. My radical revolutionary brothers still in the physical streets and the digital streets in America call it something totally different. DOJ now using past tax mistakes to strip U.S. from its citizenship. All right, we're going to dive into this subject in a minute as we proceed to do the check-in to see where you're checking in from. All right, I see Mona Trope, you in? All right. Peace. Once again, this is Professor Griff. Gerald, peace. What's good with you, man? All right. We're just doing a check-in right now. While I adjust this seat and get ready to spend a few minutes with everyone on here. All right, if you're just joining us, the subject is the DOJ now using past tax mistakes to strip U.S. citizenship. All right, whatever you want to bring to the table, this very brief discussion is not going to be long. But in the meantime, between time, where you checking in from? All right, Queens, Jamaica, 40 projects in the building. Yep, I tried to date a chick from the 40 projects. Yeah, it was just too dangerous, fam. Yeah, back in the day, for real, it was just, I couldn't do it. She was pretty, she was fine, she was nice, but she had that New York edge about her, and she lived in the 40 projects. No, couldn't do it. Rochester, New York. Oh, man, I used to live in Rochester. Went to East High School in Rochester. We used to call it the Rock. It was boring as hell. Anyway, Miss Moore, what's going on with you? All right. My brother all the way from Indianapolis. Indianapolis. Bad experience in Indianapolis. The Lilly Corporation just is not kind to me. Your brother, Professor Griff. No, not at all. All right. Where else are you checking in from? All right. Mona's salute. All right. All the way from Baltimore, Oshun. Tanya Starr, all the way from B-More. Got to be more careful. All right. Goddess Energy, peace. What's good? Indianapolis. What I tell y'all about Indianapolis? All right, Goddess Energy. You probably holding it down in Indianapolis. You ever make a weird noise in front of a dog and you acting like, and the dog turns his head like this to start looking? Yeah. It's a critical thing. Memphis in the building. Rochester. What else? Who else? Need to know what's good with you. All right. Today's subject, if you didn't hear me the first 5 times, we're talking about the DOJ now using past tax mistakes to strip U.S. citizenship. All right. So let me start off by saying this. So you heard about the all-white town that they're trying to build, and I believe it's in Arkansas. Okay. And when I first saw it, I was like, wow, that's a beautiful thing that they're building an all-white town out in the middle of butt scratch Arkansas. I applauded it. Then I seen some people, like white people, saying that they're waiting for the pushback from black people, and then when there was no pushback, they was asking the question, where are the Negroes at? Where even the ones that we pay to be controversial, to be chaos agents? race baiters, where are they at? And couldn't get anything. Even the race baiters had a far hard time trying to figure out how to position this thing in order to get on black people's nerves or to upset us. But we were not upset at all. But let's pull back, get a wider view. Let's look back through the lens of everything that they have been doing. All right. What I'm about to discuss today is a bigger aspect of it, simply because if they're not going to come at you one way, all right, they will definitely find a way, a loophole in their laws, in the deep cracks and crevices of the thousands of articles and paperwork that they've put together to make up their legislation and their articles of whatever in order to entrap you, in order to kind of deal with you in some kind of, before it gets physical, but they have a plan for that also. We'll talk about that at another time. I'm talking about the whole idea of them pushing and kidnapping and unaliving young black children, thinking that it'll strike a nerve with black people to force us into this race kind of situation, as you saw with the Cincinnati brawl. All right, everyone has seen it by now. Saw the white dude kick it off with his chest stuck out, slapping the brother, and that's what set it off. But you still see some race baiters and some chaos agents on both sides talking about black people beating up white people downtown Cincinnati. Wow. But we have the proof of how these things go down. Not only do we have the proof, we have documented proof on why they do some of the things that they do on a subconscious and psychological level, on how we can bring that up to a moral court of law to state our case. The chaos that is being hold on. The chaos that's being put among our people, not only to confuse our people. Let's look at the 5 things that are happening right now that's going on. We just got through, and probably at the end of, I'm not sure, the whole black male-female gender wars that's been going on online. Now the next war that's going on, well, before that was the hip-hop thing. That ran parallel to the gender wars. The hip-hop being black, and tethers are doing that, and other people are doing this, and we need to share our culture with people, other people claiming to kind of own it and co-invented it. And then now we're going through the Let's Hate Africa war, diaspora wars, which I don't see what's with that. I just don't get that at all. Something that's probably happening only online, simply because, like I've always said about that situation, if you're having a bad hair day and you go to the African sisters to get a hairdo and you receive bad service, then okay, fine, cool. All of us have experienced that. Then you go and you protest that particular individual at that shop or that particular shop, not issue a whole nationwide boycott of everything African, including your blood and your spirituality and yourself. Yeah, no, that was a flop. That happened on my born day, Friday. That didn't work. What's next? They're hitting us with all kind of stuff. This, what I'm about to discuss right now, is just the latest. So while all of that was going on, they were rounding up thousands of people. They built a prison in the middle of the swamp in Florida. All right. They're putting people there. They're sending people to El Salvador and other places. Then on top of that, real quiet, like, the nationality of this individual, now that's the president of Mexico, very questionable, not mentioning no names. All right. You go do the research yourself. At the same time, trying to convince us with Michael Langley and other people that they need to continue to extract the natural resources out of Africa for their own benefit while Black African people stay poor, a condition that they put us in the first place. All of that's going on. Now the DOJ is using past tax mistakes to strip the U.S. citizenship. Now, wait a minute. Matter of fact, we're not going to wait a minute. Hold on. Let me play the clip. You take your notes. I'm going to take my notes. We could come back and let's compare notes. Is that cool with everyone? Hold on. Hold on. Before I mention that, real quick, fam, before I play that. Okay, before I play that, let me say this. All of that is going on. I decided to put together, hold on for a second so you can see. I decided to put together and lend my efforts and my time to do some consulting. All right. Something that I always do. Ask the few hundred people that I've spoken to, taking out of my time to speak to them about business, about music, about their son, their daughter, talking people off the bridge and whatever else it is I do that y'all truly don't know about. All right. I decided to set up a one-on-one consulting sessions for those individuals that truly want to get a grip and a hold of not only themselves, but the issues that they're dealing with in order to put some things in place to move forward. So if you could do a screenshot of this particular flyer that's on the screen right now, and or take my phone number down and send me a text, I will send you the link on how you can book one of these 30 or 60-minute sessions. All right. Okay. This is coming from the concept that I put together in reference to Warriors in a Garden. All right. Okay. All right. So I thought it was very necessary and very important simply because a lot of times mothers, fathers, aunties, grandmothers really truly don't have anyone for young people to speak to. I'm not negating everything that's going on in church, everything that's going on in the mosque, everything that's going on in these mentorship programs, a coach that got them in sports and that kind of thing. That is a beautiful thing. I'm talking about one level deeper. All right. Truly connecting with this particular individual to not only give them, but their parents, their guardians, whomever else, some tools that they could use to guide young people along. All right. I'm really, truly digging deep and giving my time to do this. And it has to be some kind of mutual exchange of energy. So please scan the QR code, take my phone number down, send me a text, or go to the website, hold on, let me put it across the screen on the bottom, ProfessorGriff.me. All right. You'll see the consulting sign there on the right-hand side. Scroll down. All right. And click, make it happen, and we'll go from there. ProfessorGriff.me. All right. All right. And then last but not least, family. Audio book for the birth will be out tonight. Make sure you purchase the ebook. Make sure you go online, get the audio book. Make sure you tune in tonight. And of course, you can go right to www.ProfessorGriff.me. All right. I tried to encourage people to go ahead and meet that deadline and that goal. We were trying to do 100. We got to about maybe 14. All right. We did not meet our goal. I'm going to put the link back in. I'm putting the link back in for you to purchase the ebook to support the launching of the audio book. I went this route simply because a lot of people are just not reading, and I decided maybe they will listen to an audio book as opposed to reading it, or they might do both. All right. Okay. I'm going to put the hold on. I'm going to put the actual link on the screen so you can see it for yourself. All right. www.warriorsinnergarden.org/product-page/the-birth. All right. Support the platform, support the cause, support my efforts in order to put some material together to put in your hands to help educate not only yourself, but those generations behind you. It is our duty. In the meantime, between time, let's dive into this subject. All right. All right. All right. I'm going to play the clip and let's see if we can kind of dive into what this thing is actually instructing us and telling us to do. Then maybe we can kind of pull from there, and maybe we could say, okay, then let's see for ourselves. Let's see for ourselves whether or not if this applied to us or our relatives. All right, I know when some people watch this, they're going to say, see, I told you. Okay, here we go. Hopefully not.
Today's topic is one that could affect millions of immigrants across the United States. DOJ now using past tax mistakes to strip U.S. citizenship. What's going on? On June 11, 2025, the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ, quietly released an internal memo that changed everything. Signed by Assistant Attorney General Brett Shumate, the memo instructed DOJ's civil litigators to prioritize denaturalization cases. What stands out in this new directive is its aggressive focus on financial crimes, especially tax-related offenses, as a reason to revoke U.S. citizenship from naturalized immigrants. This move is unprecedented in its scope. In the past, denaturalization was reserved for war criminals, terrorists, and those who committed immigration fraud. Now, even honest mistakes on your tax return, made years before naturalization, can be grounds for the government to strip your citizenship. What exactly is denaturalization? Denaturalization is the legal process by which the U.S. government revokes citizenship from someone who obtained it through naturalization. It does not apply to people born in the U.S., only those who were naturalized after immigrating. Denaturalization is a civil process, not a criminal one. That distinction is crucial, because the burden of proof is lower, clear, convincing, and unequivocal evidence, rather than beyond a reasonable doubt. You are not entitled to a government-paid lawyer. There is no jury, only a judge decides your fate. There is no statute of limitations, they can go back 10, 20, even 30 years. Why are tax mistakes now grounds for citizenship revocation? The DOJ argues that if a person misrepresented or concealed information about their taxes, whether deliberately or not, it may indicate a lack of good moral character, a legal requirement for naturalization. Here's how the logic works. If you didn't report all your income, claimed improper deductions, or filed fraudulent returns before becoming a citizen, and you didn't disclose those issues during your citizenship interview, then your citizenship may be considered illegally obtained, even if you've been living in the U.S. legally for decades. This shift effectively weaponizes past tax filings as retroactive evidence of dishonesty. Common tax mistakes that may trigger denaturalization: underreporting income, even by mistake; failing to declare overseas assets; receiving improper tax credits or refunds, filing returns with false or exaggerated deductions, amending returns after naturalization without explanation, hiring shady or unlicensed tax preparers who made errors. Even if these issues were resolved years ago with the IRS, the DOJ may argue that they should have been disclosed during your citizenship application. Real case studies. Case 1.
All right, I think I'm going to end it there. I don't want to play the whole person's clip on their channel. If you want more information, go to Immigration USA. That is the channel, Immigration USA. All right, this is the DOJ denaturalization. U.S. citizenship revoked over IRS tax mistakes, 2025 warning. All right, go there and see the whole clip. Do a deeper dive, do deeper research on your own so you can better educate yourself. All right. What are some of the things that you picked up from that that may affect not only you, but your relatives? All right. Or just some of your friends or even some of your co-workers. All right. Okay. I'm going to open up the phone lines here. I'm asking everyone to be respectful and stick to the subject matter. All right. Robbie Blue, what's going on with you? Latasha, how you feel? Taylor Nubia, what's going on? All right. That is the link. Click the link. Let me know if you want to come on to discuss this particular subject today. Not only that, once again, family, all right, go to ProfessorGriff.me if you know anyone, any aunt, uncle, grandma that want to take advantage of these consultations that I'm giving in reference to talking to teenagers, young adults, or even you might need it as a grown adult. All right. Sometimes we need a different insight, a different perspective, different angle on some things. The flyer is on the screen right now. All right. One-on-one consulting sessions. My number is there, 678-557-2919. You can text me. Please do not call. You can text and or go to ProfessorGriff.me. All right, in order to get more information. ProfessorGriff.me in order to get more information. All right. Okay. In the meantime, between time, let's dive into this subject. The Department of Justice has established a denaturalization. So you were naturalized, you went through the whole process, did everything you were supposed to do. But if you did not cross the T, dot the I, put the comma in the right place on your taxes. Not that you're an expert on taxes. Then now they are finding a way to denaturalize you and deport you. And they can use that to snatch your citizenship away from you. All right. When you're talking about dirty tricks, when you're talking about situation, now listen, this might even backfire on them being in other foreign countries where the people look like us. This might be a blowback. This might be like, oh, okay, wow, that's how you treating the people there. All right, fine. And in certain African countries, they've actually told all of the Americans and all of the Europeans, you have to leave. Some have packed up in 72 hours. They had to get out. All right. So they're looking at this as financial fraud against the United States. And they're saying if you're doing that, you're being dishonest. Now, take a deep breath, everyone, because what I'm about to say, some of y'all, I know you might not get offended, but you might not want to do the hard work. How many people in America that are quote unquote Americans and or white, but from white countries. Italy, Germany, France, some other place, Russia, Ukraine, Poland, Israel, some other places, have been caught embezzling, fraudulently doing all kind of stuff with scandals in reference to finances. All right. And they are still here in the United States. There's not a great roundup of these particular individuals. It's not widely known. You might see a blurb on your local news. It take independent journalism and journalists to kind of hold on one second. It might take independent journalists or to come and just basically say, okay, I need to do I need to do a documentary on this, or just something short to let people know these are the individuals that are doing this particular thing. All right. So if they are going about this on the left side of the law, and everyone on the right side of the law is quote unquote getting away with it, but receiving a lesser punishment, then can we look at it like it's a conspiracy aimed at getting rid of the black and brown people and kind of purging America? I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. All right, hold on one second, family. DOJ. And D natural. Equals, hold on. 1 second, fam. All right. With host, yeah, what's the name is acting up IG, so it stopped on me, so I'm just making the short clip. I don't think I'm going to turn it back on anymore. I'm not sure. It's been acting up. I don't know. Could be me. Could not. It could be whatever. It says you are live. I'm going to leave it alone and focus on you. Anyway, happy belated birthday. Oh, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. I turned 65 on Friday. 65 on Friday. My daughter's birthday was right after mine on Saturday. I think she turned 41. I think. Yeah. My granddaughter's birthday is coming up. She's going to be 19, 18, 19. Yeah. I got children and grandchildren older than some of y'all that are on here. Anyway, we got to do what we got to do. Golden Key, tell me what's not. Thank you very much, Golden Key. Golden Key said everything isn't against us a people. He wanted to say, or that person wanted to say, as a people. Tell me something that's not. Golden Key. I'm not calling you out. I'm just asking you a question. You said everything isn't against us. Do you think this particular thing that we're talking about today is against us? You said golden key. You said this is inaccurate. I just played the clip. That's what they are saying. Oh, I played half the clip. Let me say that. They go into finer details. Nah. Golden key, with all due respect, let me say this. And this is no disrespect to you because I don't know you. So then when you are trained, underline, trained, put a circle around it, change the font, give it bold, italicize it. When you are trained to do a job, you don't know everything about that job because you're not the HNIC. Okay? I'm just passing that on. All right? I used to do security. I had a post, I had a perimeter, there was a building, there was a door. I had my job. I wasn't the head of the company. And even the head of the company didn't know everything. It was people that owned the company. So I had a manager, I had a supervisor, chief of staff, or whatever. So just word to the wise, golden key. Just because you have a job and you work in that field, you did not create the field. All right. Okay. I worked as a janitor at one time in 3 different schools on Long Island, New York. All right. I didn't own the mop, the bucket, or the broom. I just used it. I had a job. These are the classrooms I took care of, the lunchroom, guidance counselor's office. I swept, cleaned, did what I had to do, yada, yada, yada. I didn't own the school. I didn't write the curriculum for the school. Yeah. I had a job, and I did my job and went home. All right. Yeah, need to know. I didn't just pull this information from anywhere. All right. I made sure I had credible sources because I'm familiar with the mindset and the thinking of the golden key people of the world. So, I didn't just wake up and choose this subject. All right. Okay. So when you say everything isn't against us, I just want to understand what that is. Because it seems like as long as racism, white supremacy exists, until we, as Dr. Francis Cress Welsing says, we replace it with a system of justice that we can all kind of benefit from the system, then yeah, I'm sorry to say everything that these people do is against us simply because on a subconscious level, they want to survive genetically. If you one of those individuals that you want to dive into the conversation about genetics and you want to talk about the lightning of the black gene and that kind of thing, you can do that on your own. That's not the conversation of today, but that has absolutely nothing to do with what's going on in America as far as the purge. They've put it in movies. They put it in something. Now listen, a couple of nights ago, I did some deep dives into how many white supremacist organizations that are operating not only in Georgia, but in America that want to egg on this race war that they're so looking forward to. All right. You'd be surprised some of the things that they are doing right now. Train is all I can tell you. Watch your little ones. Keep your people travel in groups. I am telling you, family, this is a must. This is a must until we have that conversation openly. I'm sure some of y'all are, but no, let me not say that. You're not. You're not having this conversation. I go on TikTok and I see some of these people. Oh my God, the level of anyway. Son, what's good with you, bro?
Brother man. How you doing?
How you feel, man? You all right?
Doing all right, you know what I'm saying? Copacetic, maintaining, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Steady
what's
growing, trying to reach your level, bro.
cut it
Her
out,
six
man.
six five is in the picture, man. That's all right now.
Right, 6'5".
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
what you
What's
got? What
respect?
you got for me today, man? Talk to me.
When it comes to this, I'm that's one thing I was curious about. With how ICE is moving and basically the citizen purge or the civil purge. It seems like
Mm-hmm.
that's what the United States is doing. It seems like these pilgrims is after a civil purge, if you will. I mean, not a civic. Excuse me, a
Civic.
civic
Mm-hmm.
purge. Yeah, a civic purge. And so with this, like the way that ICE moves, and okay, I'm not just down with no pilgrims being able to mask up, tool up, snatch somebody from somewhere, wherever they want to, put them somewhere, lock them down. It don't matter, pre-emancipation, post-emancipation. I'm just not down with pilgrims being able to do that at any given
Right.
juncture. I don't care if it's considered lawful or not.
Right.
Culture-wise, I think they start to smell their piss, if you will. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
I've been looking how they're going to prolong this momentum, right? Because we already know that there's no way that they're just going to go after, I guess, illegal aliens, or I don't know what's so illegal about them when they brought them over here. So, okay. But, all right. They brought them over here. You know what I'm saying? They opened up the gate, and now they, kicking them out. Oh, you're illegal. They was illegal while you need them to be over here to be legal. So, all right, it's gangster. But
Most
my
people
thing
were here
is,
before the pilgrims got here. So how could you take the people's land, turn around, write your laws, and then write them in as elite? Yeah, that's the whole conversation.
that part. So my thing is what's going to stop this whiteness culture from rising up into them then? You know what I'm saying? Okay, we say, okay, a lot of black people have been saying, but they can't do this because we're citizens and because of the Constitution, because of the law. And it's like, well, look, as far as I'm concerned, they mean yo-yoing with that mug the entirety of the time. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's been very, very inconsistent. And
Can I
so
ask you something real quick?
with this
Hold on.
bigger push?
Can I ask you something
Yeah.
real quick? With what you just said,
Yes, sir.
what's stopping them from doing anything that they want to do? When have we ever stopped them from?
Right.
They could change the law tomorrow. These are their laws. So they can't change the law tomorrow and say, okay, if you're black and you're born with a mole on your elbow, we got to deport you. Yeah, if your grandmother ever
For
picked
real.
cotton, no, you can't, you're not allowed in the country. What's stopping them from doing anything? Is what I'm saying.
Right. So nothing is stopping them. The thing is okay, people going along with it. And I guess acquiescence plays a part of agreement. But I think right now is what people should be doing is establishing their own value standard of society, of reality. Like we're at a time, if AI has access to doing it, I think all people should have access to doing it. You feel me? AI is having to establish an understanding of this reality. Well, I think it's time for the people, especially black people, to do so in a reassessing of reality. The same as Dr. Amos Wilson, my favorite teacher, because he consistently placed things in hypercritical thought. What if 200 years later, not just, not just now, not just for the feelings, it was not, like, can we project 200, 300 years later of having to deal with these people? Do we think that the current social order that is, let's say it could be somewhat being beneficial, do we think that that state of their social order is going to remain for the next
Let me
100,
answer
200 years?
Hold on, let me answer that. So listen, so what you're saying then is, if we've got, like, it's like what I put on the screen, someone said we got comfortable in our enslavement. You just said, how has it been beneficial? You said somewhat beneficial, I believe you said. I don't want to misquote you. How has
yeah.
our
Somewhat.
enslavement here been beneficial?
Well, I mean, we do have some agency. I ain't saying it's been 100% beneficial. I'm just saying we got more agency than our ancestors had.
Okay, so let's
So,
speak. Hold on. Let's speak in block letters. Let's not talk a whole lot. Let's stop, slow down a little. Let's speak in block letters.
okay.
What? This is no. I'm not coming at you. I'm talking to the audience.
Yeah.
What do we own? You said our ancestors didn't have X,
What do
Y,
we-
and Z. They did. They burned a lot of our stuff down. And prior to them even existing on the planet, we owned, operated, and had our own thing going. So I'm right now, 2025. What is that we collectively, as a people, you could say foundational Black American, you could say what Black American, you could say African American. It don't matter to me. What is it that we own here in America?
We don't own anything. I wasn't talking about ownership.
No. You said
I wasn't talking.
No, you're not. No, I know you weren't talking about ownership. That's my question to you and to the audience.
Right.
You're saying we did better than our ancestors.
No. Nah. Nobody said we did better. I'm saying as far as like the agency that we have, let's say pre-emancipation and post-emancipation, right? Post-emancipation has more agency than the Black people of pre-emancipation.
I respect your wisdom, but that word emancipation might not work right now.
I get it. No. Look, check it out. I don't believe none of this shit, cuz my thing is I'm accepting the terms as they're presented to me. You feel me?
Okay,
so
you and I on the same
I'm
page.
accepting the maze. Yeah, I'm accepting the maze as they tell me it is. Okay, and I'm doing qualifiers and measurements by that, but also by that which is ideal based off of my own cultural standards, which usually is the antithesis to anything that the United States present. So, what I'm talking about is the agency that we have. We can choose to do more for ourselves and to ourselves, but that is going to give Black people a bad look towards everyone else, because that means we have to get discriminative. That means we have to gatekeep culture. That means you have to gatekeep position. That means all of that, right? That means people cannot, they do not get to have their current standing of social relation with us, which is largely exploitative, right? Okay, the reason why Black people don't do it, I suspect, since I was a child, I suspect that Black people want to be more American than Black. And I've said this before up here. And the type of American is, I guess, is being accepted by white people. And they can lie and say that, but that's all I've been seeing. I've been seeing Black people in different form of fashions, trying to see how they can alleviate any non-favoritism unto white people.
Okay, so
be it strict or non-strict.
Take a deep breath right there. Let the people process that, because you got your Amos Wilson popping off right now. So I'm saying to you, because we have to take deep breaths, because what you've given us is deep. I want to be able to process it. I'm processing it, but I want the audience to be able to process it. You understand what I'm saying? So
yes,
what you said, from what I could catch, you said Black people in America want to be more American than Black, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And of course, that's nuanced simply because a lot of people don't claim to be Black, but they don't claim to be Black. They want to be everything else. But what is it to be an American?
Being accepted by white people.
Can I be an American?
You can. But for Black people, it mainly resonated to me as them trying to be accepted by white people in some form or fashion. That's what I noted when I was a child, and I haven't seen it change from that 40 years later.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. So let me ask you this. So then, can I be an American?
Yeah, you can be an American. Yeah.
What do I have to do?
Go ahead.
What do I have to do to be an American?
I have no clue, because I never counted myself as one, okay? I'm from North Tulsa, Oklahoma, homie. Come on, bro. Nah. I ain't never counted myself as an American. I've been trying to figure that out since first grade, bro.
I hate.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Then they put crack in my neighborhood. It's like, all right, then who did? America. Oh, okay. Well, hold up. You know what I'm saying? Here comes the side eye. I'm looking at all this side eye. I'm black and black only.
Right. Okay. So
Until otherwise.
someone said I had to own a BMW, a German car. I guess I don't know. Okay, so I guess they must be talking to one another in the chat. I'm just trying to follow along. Yeah, Dorf L said we need to stop, not you and I, but stop playing, get serious, because they are deadly serious with us. They're doing all kind of things to kind of remove us. So if they wrote us into the Constitution as 3/5 of a human being, right?
Okay.
Right. Okay. So can we?
Okay, but what makes that a standard? Simply because it came from their hand as they dipped the pen or whatever. Like,
Yeah, that's their
gives?
Constitution. That's what governed their nation.
Okay, but they even yo-yo with that. They don't even hold
Yeah,
to that 100. So
exactly.
look, my measure of any of this, of any society, of any quality of a society, of any of its culture, is it something that I can view worth chipped in stone? And the way they do law here, the way they do constitution here, that's not worthy to be etched in stone.
Right. No,
This
I
shit
got
is
you.
so fluid.
Right.
You feel me? So, okay,
Right.
they can 3/5 of a man, whatever, but who are they to define what a man is in the first place with they savage ass?
Right. So let me ask you a very controversial question, if you don't mind. Regardless of what we
Yeah.
call ourselves, indigenous, black, African American, American, Moor, Hebrew, whatever we call ourselves, all right, is it going to stop them from doing what they're doing to us?
Hell no.
Malcolm said when they show up, they're not asking you for ID. They don't. They're not.
For real.
They're not on TikTok having an argument with you. When they show up, they see your complexion, your nappy hair. You got Biggie playing in the background. You coming with us? You got.
It's domination. The thing is, it's all about domination. And the thing is, that's one of the things that Black people don't want their participation within America to reflect at all. It's more of a participation in being in America, not
Okay,
participation in the domination, because
so
that means that you
when they
can't be
kick
free.
the door in, they're gonna ask you whether or not if you're Jamaican, Haitian, African, Moor, Muslim, Christian. They're gonna ask all those questions. How do we
Nah,
figure these things out? When they come to round us up,
nope.
yeah, okay.
If you ain't them, you getting round up. All you got to be is not them. And so, you know, and let's say that everybody is partaking of all. This is really a number against the party, right? All right, then it costs so much genocide and death and destruction, sabotage, ill. You know what I'm saying? Probably a whole bunch of ill magic that went down. You feel me? Like this is a very chaotic situation. So it's like, okay, the most that we can hope for is a quality storefront. And it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Because if this ain't nothing but a gangster party, you can't ask so much of gangsters. Or at least, you know what I'm saying, politeness, do good business. You know what I'm saying? Don't be trying to poison the market or overdo nothing with the market, because the people need it as well. But yeah, you got your appetite and you're willing to do whatever for your appetite, whatever. Okay, but at least just give me a quality storefront. Well, these pilgrims done been dropped the quality storefront. So once they drop their quality storefront, which is that fellow Americanism that everybody think they participating in, you see gangsters in there. Okay, they're no longer. So now you have to interact with straight up G's. You can't do the civil thing no more, as far the protests, the marches. Hey, let's have a talk and see if we can understand one another. Nah, they outright fully in the capacity of open G's now. So things become a lot more extreme. Things become a lot more intense. Things become a lot more critical, right? To me, when 9/11 happened, that's basically what they told me, because I was like, all right, then, y'all took it there. Okay, now I know the veil is up.
All right, once again, let's press the pause button. Sylvia Standback says, I am original to this country prior to 1492 land claim. even the deception that the word black means. Blank. Huh? Black doesn't mean blank. But anyway, white or
Yeah,
blanco. Anyway,
that's
lies.
that's no, that's a Moorish perspective.
Okay, so lies are their agenda. So Sylvia, and I'm gonna ask you the question also, son. What's stopping them from coming to scoop up Sylvia? But I don't care. You were here prior to 1492. That's absolutely fine. What is stopping them? Let's underline stopping them. Let's put it in bold font. Click the capital button.
I don't know.
What's stopping them? Can anyone answer that?
I don't know. Look, the more to tell you that there's a treaty in play. The more to tell you that there's a treaty in play. And my thing is, okay, let's say that there's a treaty in play.
Okay.
What is their issue with acknowledging basic humanity prior to you being within your proper person, your propria persona, if you will? Why is it that I have to send in this paperwork and to get their stamp of approval of me being this type of noble or sovereign, for them to merely acknowledge, you know what I'm saying, that I have a life force just as precious as their own? What is my issue with these has been, what is their issue with life? And just so that with the ease of removing it, you know what I'm talking about? Like, that was my thing. I don't give a damn what the status was thousands and thousands and thousands of years back. Sorry, I can't. That's way too far. That's over my head, above my pay grade. I can deal with this present now and see just how visceral these things are, and then note how closely the past is connected to that now. Okay, and the shit ain't removed.
Okay, so then let's just say you and I and everyone listening right now, we say bet. We go along with that, man. We got the treaty in place, yada, yada, yada. That's how we living. Whatever, we gave them back their names. Everyone's a Moor. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, once again, my basic question. What is stopping them?
I don't know, man.
What you got?
I don't know, bro.
They're gonna come and you gonna hold up your treaty? Like what's stopping them?
They don't even stand 100 on their own law, let alone a treaty from a couple thousand years back, man. Come on, cuz, what we talking about here?
Right. I'm just trying to get some people to understand that regardless, because I hear people yelling at the top of their lungs, they hate Africans, they FBA do this, Africans do that, Caribbeans. I'm like, listen, y'all better chill out and come together, because I'm telling you, these people don't care what you claiming.
But wait a minute, that should have been easily seen when they first arrived here. The thing is, the delineation has to happen because there has to be a healthy placement within the classification, the objective classification of just Black and minority here in the United States, right? That has to happen. It doesn't have to be all the negativeness behind it or whatever, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? The other folks jumped up out of pocket, and at the cultural level where we would declare out of pocket. Well, what is it that you just said, right? And you just established that point and solidified that point 15 minutes ago, as far as all they're going to be looking for is who ain't them. Those other people ain't them, right? Okay. Well, why is it that when it came to the Africans and the Caribbeans and those, you know what I'm saying, fellow Black people outside of here, why is it that they couldn't be on that code when they first got here then? What is it that in this day and age, it takes some form of banter and proof to get them to be on that code, which is visceral to us in our objective view of this? It's visceral to us, but they got to be convinced, you know what I'm saying, convinced to get on code like that. And I think Black people said they tired of it. They said, fuck it, unfortunately.
Right. So I've watched YouTube clips. And this is my last thing because I got to get off of here. I've watched YouTube clips of Black police officers getting pulled over and treated like a regular old criminal. I've watched mayors get pulled over, Black judges, school teachers, doctors, nurses, lawyers, and get treated like a regular old criminal. I've watched Black Republicans, Democrats, Freemasons, Shriners. I done watch Christian, Muslim. I done watch everybody under the rainbow, Black, get pulled over and get treated the same way.
Yeah,
Once again,
and
my
be
final
shocked.
question,
And
which is the same question.
they will, but get this, those black people will be shocked. They will believe that they made it somewhere within this pilgrim's dream, and you know, and solidified some form of, I guess, a respected standing. And it never happens. But this is the issue. What is it about these Peckerwoods that's so trusting in non-white people? That's the weirdest part, cuz it has been weird for 40 years, man.
Nah, you're right. All right. I really respect you, man. I gotta get ready to get out of here, man. I told him I'd be off at 1.
Go ahead, bro. Get you some
All right.
lunch. Much respect
Respect,
to
man.
you and everything connected to you, man. Be
Indeed, good
well.
bro. All right, peace, man. Sun be coming up, dropping it, man. I'm like, okay, yeah. Anyway, it's Professor Griff. I gotta get ready to get out of here. I promised. Hold on, I got one private chat. Nah, we're not bringing you on. You're banned for life, bro. Go somewhere else and start trouble. Nah, we good. Nope. I'm keeping my word. We're going to raise the vibrational pitch of the conversation on this platform. Anyone comes on that wants to speak ill and all this other stuff, we're not doing that. I'm out of here. 1 o'clock. D Nick, you got to come on a little bit earlier, bro. I got to get out of here. I got to be out of here on time. Today, there's a program coming on after mine. All right, family. As I've said before, jot this information down. One-on-one consulting sessions with your brother, Professor Griff. All right. Part of my program, Warriors in a Garden. All right. We must become warriors in a garden, not gardeners in a war. All right. You can go to www.public, the letters NME.org. All right. Or if you want one-on-one session, consulting session, consultation, you could just go to, hold on, let me put the banner up so you can actually see it for yourself. Go to my website right here, www.professorgriff.me. All right. Sign up, click on the calendar, and go ahead and make the appointment, and let's talk. All right. In the meantime, in between time, make sure you get the ebook, The Birth. All right. Make sure you get the ebook, The Birth. All right. By yours truly, Professor Griff. The birthing song of the women of the Himba tribe in Namibia, Africa. It's a deep book dealing with esoteric, metaphysical science, and dealing with sound, vibration, frequency, and bringing the child to birth via frequency, sound, and vibration. Your birthing song. All right. Tonight will be the release of the audio book. All right. The audio book will be released tonight. All right. Support the platform. Support the cause, family. This is your brother, Professor Griff. If y'all want to donate, of course, it's at the bottom of the screen. $ Professor Griff on Cash App. And of course, you can hit me on PayPal. That's Professor Griff Corp. Or you can just hit me up, text me, 678-557-2919. It's Professor Griff. Love y'all to life. All right, I'm going to see y'all on the next one. That's Wednesday at 12 o'clock. If I decide to come on tomorrow on TikTok, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm contemplating that because there's some violent stuff happening on TikTok, man. I went up there, man. I was like, tag, I had to go put on a bulletproof vest. Y'all be going off and in like, what the hell? Anyway, love y'all to life, not to death. Love y'all to life. This your brother, Professor Griff. All right? Salute. Peace, fam. Damn.